What's up, everybody? It's Froggy Keefy. I'm feeling froggy today. Ribbit, ribbit. You're watching another edition of Ghost Cold Mag's Weekly Ritual, Ghost Cold's news show, streaming all over the web. This mask is uncomfortable. Let's see how long I can keep it on and technically do the show. Let's find out. We're going to find out right now. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to December. Crazy time in the world. It's been a crazy week. We are back with another show. And I hope you enjoyed our tartar sauce and immortal mashup for our wintry themed cover for the show. And it looks like some of our friends are already joining on all the things. Let's find out who's here. What up, what up, what up? It's almost Friday everywhere in the world but here. So much news to discuss and uncover. As usual, the best experience for this show is YouTube, Twitch, sometimes Facebook, Instagram. I'm on TikTok also. Keep those comments and questions going. Feel free to drop us a donation, a super thanks, or a super like is always appreciated. I don't even know if anybody can hear me do the show with this frog mask on. I guess I'm going to take the frog mask off because it's pretty damn funny. But it's hot. It's very hot. Hold on one second. Surprise! Frog mask is something else. Oh, drop the headphones already. Okay, that's more like it. Trucker hat engaged. You know, we're doing all the things. We do the things. Kurt is here. I just flipped the comments on, and Kurt is here with the frog emojis. Perfect. My best friend in the world, Kurt, done that. What up, bro? I will shut off the banners and just keep the comments up. What's up? What's up? Once again, thanks for being here. We rarely miss a show, so I'm happy to be back. And again, just crazy time in the world. I was going to try to drink the liquid death severed lime through the frog mask, but then it was going to get all on me, and I got shit to do right after this show, so I'm going to try to speed this along. All right. Let's get into it. First weekend in December, holidays are almost among us, and just because, you know, we don't want things to go too easy for me, there was a freaking earthquake and a tsunami warning here in Northern California today. Technically, the epicenter of the earthquake was north of San Francisco, closer to Eureka, which is, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, 5, 6 hours away from here. But then the earthquake happened in the sea off the northern coast of California and gave a huge tsunami warning. So this is I literally packed a bag. I was texting a bunch of friends. I considered getting out of here, and then they called it off. So just coastal flooding north of where I live. It was like a sunny day. Otherwise, here in town, beside Kurt, Interstellar Smoke is here. Beginning Bull is here. Jeffrey Sutton is here. Commodity, Irock Edwards, J Bems, Susan Mitchell, Joe D 1000, Angelic Desolation, Chris Keller here 12. So anyways, there's been a crazy day. Plus I've been working on projects, plus Ghost Cold, plus this. So we're going to try to whiz through this show. It's a little bit of a shorter planned show than normal, but still probably about the regular time. Thanks for being here and being a part of this. I appreciate you all. Super cool for anyone to come by and you can spend your time anywhere. Moonchild is here. Deep Sleep is here. Deep Sleep 5K. You could spend your time watching anybody, but you're here watching us, so I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And if you're new here, like and subscribe. We're trying to get those numbers up. We are almost to 5,400 on YouTube and all the things. We'll talk about William Campbell's here. We'll talk about William Campbell, The Hero's Journey, maybe. We'll talk all about these things. But yeah, just a crazy day in the world today. Time for some announcements, and just once again, a reminder, this show and every show of late is dedicated to Sonia Ramos, a.k.a. Sonia Shredder on Instagram. She's a guitar luthier in Florida. We're just trying to help her with her care against late-stage cancer. which completely sucks, and we're just trying to help with that. So if you can donate something to her, we appreciate it. If you can only make one donation, that's a good place. We had Black Friday this week and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday and Giving Tuesday and Thankful Thursday and all the things, but charity, it's kind of a thing that people do overlook in their lives sometimes. So if you can donate something, we appreciate it. This is a sad and controversial thing. Bob Breyer, the second drummer for My Chemical Romance, died this week, early this week. Said some particularly not great things online, had some personal issues after leaving the band, was not included in any reformation of the band after they returned from a breakup. Very sad circumstances, might have been dead a few weeks in his house with just his dogs there and decomposing or something. We don't know the cause of death yet. Very sad. The band did make a statement. Fans were pretty upset. A lot of people triggered left and right about stuff. Death Rattle's here. What up? What up? Mystikus is here. Good to see you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching. I appreciate y'all. Also, this is super sad. Surrounded by Monsters vocalist Michael Baston died. He was just 39. Bob in the post above there was 44. It's a pretty young guy. Michael was 39. We don't know the cause of death. There's a GoFundMe. His significant other and bandmate in Surrounded by Monsters, Tracy, has her own health challenges. She has MS since 2015, and he was one of her primary caregivers, or her primary caregiver. And hey, Death Rattle, what's up? And just very sad. We don't know, what happened, but hopefully people can help. And we don't know the future of that band if he's, one of the key members of the band and he passed away. So we don't know their fate, but sad. December is always like a very heavy month for death. I don't know why. I have my own personal losses this month. We'll talk about them more next week. Just on a lighter note, we are still trying to get sainthood for our favorite metal pooch in San Francisco, Django, seen here with Necro Butcher of Mayhem. They were both on their way to kill Euronymous and maybe on their way to quit As They Lay Dying. Oh, glad to not talk about that band this week, but there's other bands to talk about. Hey, Zachary Hernand, what up? I'm saying hi to you. Christy Mitchell's here, and I appreciate you all. So yeah, if you can sign the petition in the link in our description at change.org, doesn't cost you anything. It's just goodwill. We're just trying to help out a fun pooch. And that's the change.org petition for Django. And once again, we're on all the things. We moved our newsletter over to Substack. We're just kind of slowly rolling that out. If you're interested, we send one email out a couple times a weekend. Not every day like our competitors who bombard you with stuff. We're on all the other socials. I know a lot of people are talking about Blue Sky being the new Twitter killer or X killer. We're on Blue Sky. We've got a lot of new followers in the last couple of weeks, in which we appreciate. It's all the same. It's just a matter of time before they all become terrible. And I work in marketing and social media, and they just have not been great, honestly, these social networks. But I highly encourage you to check it out. So we're on all the things, and we're also on Discord and Reddit in case you want to find some of our better content there. MPNWM is here. What up? What up? What up? What up? And now for the features. Just getting ready for the album of the year drop soon. Ghost Cult, we had a big album of the year recording with a bunch of our staff members. Our staff has already voted on all the albums that are coming out this year. We, as a music journalism outlet, because we are music reviewers, we get to hear the albums early as it is to put the reviews out ahead of the time the albums come out. So we've already heard all the releases for this year, including the December ones. Why don't you wait till after December? Because everybody else doesn't. So we have to also do ours sooner. And it's going to be dope. There's going to be website posts and a podcast and a video here on YouTube coming soon. Hopefully as soon as next week, but we'll see. And I'm pretty excited about it. But in the meantime, what's your favorite album that came out this year? Any genre, I don't care. Mostly we do rock and metal. But if you have a favorite album at all this year, drop a comment with an album that came out in 2024 that you love. And tell us what it is, and we'll talk about it. I got a stack of vinyl behind me there being guarded by Lady Baphomet, my plushie from Twin Temple. And that's my stack of vinyl to do a future video on. We're gonna have a team video for all of Ghost Cult. I'm gonna do my own video. I think we're gonna have some guest content and videos and stuff, and maybe some from the staff. So we'll see. Just a reminder, it was just Black Friday. We have a holiday gift guide full of links and things you can find if you need a gift for a special loved one, a rocker and metalhead in your life, yourself. You should treat yourself because it's been a son of a bitch of a year. So you should treat yourself. And if you, most of the links in that website post, give some love to us. We get some kind of, a few pennies. We appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on. Check it out. See if there's anything in there that floats your boat, including all the gear we use to make these videos, to shoot concerts, to do all this material we do for you every day. Features this week here at Ghost Cult. I caught up with 3 of the 4 members of Crobot. Their new album, Obsidian, came out in September. It is a banger, but it's also very dark. Those are usually like fun-loving party guys. And this new record's a dark, like very introspective album that I don't think anyone was expecting. And we talked all about it. And kind of a fun fact, Crobot's existence kind of mirrors Ghost Cult's. Juanita Holda is here. What up, Juanita? Appreciate the powerful arm emojis. Where the Dillinger Compound is here. What up, homie? Good to see you. Non-metal albums here. The Cure newest album, and Jay Macy is solo. Oh, Jay Macy is always great, high quality music, whatever he's doing. Do you remember the Heavy Blanket project he did that was kind of instrumental psychedelic rock? I think I saw them open for Red Fang and Sleep once. And the Cure's new record's a banger. I was never the biggest Cure fan coming up because I was into other things, especially thrash metal and progressive rock as a teen. But at the peak Cure, but that new record's blistering. So good, so quality. But new Crobot, Obsidian, out now on distributed by Megaforce Records, but really a DIY album for those guys. And check out my interview with 3 of the guys in the band. Brandon, Chris, and Dan. Also, Dead Bob. I interviewed the great John Wright. You might know him best from the band No Means No. He was the drummer. Now No Means No is retired, and John has a new band where he's the front person called Dead Bob, which is kind of a punk and post-punk and folk rock band. And they're currently, we're going to talk about their tour in a second. This album came out earlier in the year. It was a real honor and a pleasure. I've been very lucky, especially with the punk and metal artists, to interview many great artists this year. And Ghost Cult has other people that do interviews as well, which you can check out on the channel, on YouTube and other places, our pods. But a great interview, Lifelike by Dead Bob, is out now. Dead Bob is obviously the band Dead Bob is named for a No Means No song. So pretty great. Also, just a reminder, we recently interviewed Body Count. Our own Tom Osmond interviewed Vincent Price, one of the longest serving members of Body Count, all about their brand new album, Merciless, and working with Ice-T and what it's like, and his roots in South Central LA as a bassist and played in other bands, and what a killer band Ice has right now. So our new Body Count album slaps. It's so good. Super proud of those guys. Somebody's on Twitch. What up? Say hello. Thanks for being here and passing by. If you're not already subbed, sub there. Just a reminder, Pink Floyd's The Wall turned 45 years old last Saturday, November 30th, and I was joined by my podcast partner, Nick Cameron, for a deep dive, an in-depth deep dive. He also wrote a blog on Ghost Cult, sort of a feature piece with his own point of view about what the album means and what it means to him. But the deep dive conversation is, I gotta say, it was pretty great. Pink Floyd is my favorite band ever, despite what a huge metalhead I am. I just have always loved that band, and they have a real special connection to me. And a lot of people seem to agree with me. So The Wall, pretty great. It holds up. I know Roger sucks, but The Wall is forever. Just a reminder, we have a podcast. This show will be a podcast, but the Ghost Cult Magazine podcast is wherever you listen to podcasts. And we've had some banger original content and featured content there as well, including a brand new interview with Royale Lynn, Ghost Cult's Ragin' Rosie. Caught up with Royale Lynn, the Nashville-based artist, kind of mixes metal and hard rock and country, and she raps a little too, just on occasion, because she can. She's got a little country twang, but she's becoming heavier and heavier in her music. She's signed to Epitaph Records, dropped the recent single Sacrifice, played it louder than life, performed at Rocklahoma, and sang a duet with Disturbed. I mean, she's blowing up. So check out this cool interview with her. We have more on the way there, as well as the Glacially Musical Podcast, which again is my partner Nick Cameron, who did the Pink Floyd video with me, Beer, Metal, and Swearing. We are back this week with a Chaser episode. We usually do a series and then a Chaser, drinks and a Chaser. So the Chaser series this week is one of the most requested we've had, which is Nick's vinyl collection, most expensive and rare vinyls, unpacked, discussed, deep dive, what he paid for them, what they're worth now. Some stuff he got literally for $10 that are worth like hundreds of bucks now. Some things he paid quite a lot of money for and why. And he discusses vinyl collecting and all this stuff. And I poke and prod him with my questions. Skylar is also here. What up, Skylar? Jim Roebuck is here. Tyler is here. Liam. Everybody's passing by on the tick. Stephanie Montoya is here. Stephanie Montoya is one of the recent winners of the Glacially Musical Podcast giveaway, the 200th episode giveaway. I think we're up to 208 now as of today. So that was done a while back, but super excited. Super excited. Thank you for being here, Stephanie, and being a real one. Also, just a reminder, we have affiliate partners here. Our main affiliate partner is the Lamb Goat Media Network, brought to you by Lamb Goat. You know them. They're kind of the meaner version of Ghost Cult. And don't go in the comments. It's not for the faint of heart. But Lamb Goat is out there. When you see ads on ghostcultmag.com, that's from Lamb Goat. When we gave away VIP tickets to see Slayer, that was with Lamb Goat, and more to come. We are also partners. If you're watching this anywhere, unfortunately, but TikTok, you are seeing this on StreamYard. StreamYard is your one-stop shop for streaming excellence. We have this picture-in-picture. We can do video content, my slide deck, comments on the screen, most everywhere. Mustachio24 is here. Natasha's here. What up? What up? J-Boys Toys is here. Ken Allen 470 is here. Appreciate all of you. But StreamYard makes it all possible. We're super stoked to be partners with them. And if you sign up, if you do streaming and you want to be on Twitch and you want to be on all the streaming things at once and have everything kind of funneled into one main control area instead of a bunch of different things, if you sign up with our link in the description for StreamYard, you get $10 off your sign up fee, and we get, lucky for us, we get $10 off our next bill, which is, it's like Dutch door action. It's super cool. We need it. We appreciate it. It's helpful. Tell me how you like it. If you like this StreamYard thing, I like it a lot. It really has changed the game for us in the last calendar year, maybe year and a half that we've used it, and just keeps getting better and better. We're waiting for them to get TikTok. Once we can get TikTok, we could shoot this in vertical. I did a live stream on StreamYard. I recorded our album of the year stuff and content on StreamYard. So we are just relying on it more and more. And I'm just so stoked and pleased to keep using it. It's really made the difference for us. And I'm just so blown away by the response to everything and everybody. And I can't thank everybody enough for all the support here. It's been a wild year. We're not quite in a full-on year-end reflective mood. Dirt Wizard 666 here. What up, yo? What up? Favorite metal albums by Dillinger Compound. Trap Pile, high up, man. Blood Incantation, Absolute Elsewhere, and Piron. Yeah, I mean, it's like a Piron flew under the radar. Wish. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Yay, you. You're right. Yay, you. But also, you're welcome. I'm glad you're excited. Let me know when it shows up. Hopefully, it's to your liking. I had nothing to do with it. Blame Nick. No, I'm kidding. Blame Nick if you don't like it. I love Nick. And we've been joined by Don from Talking the Talk with Don and Southeast of Heaven. I highly recommend getting Don's book, Southeast of Heaven. It's a personal story about his life as a metalhead, but it's really hilariously funny and great. He's got some crazy stories. Edited by the great Catherine Turman, who is a music journalism and author and legend. Yeah, definitely check it out. Let's see what else. Ethan Hurricks is here. What up? El Lidet 403 is here. Those are some great picks, Dillinger Compound. Those are some great picks. Now for the news rundown. Let's jam on it. I'm going to try to fly through this show. I have shit to do, places to be, and things to do. This is the story everybody is talking about all over the web. One of the biggest talked about stories of the week, one of the biggest stories on our website of the week. Sick New World Festival was canceled. This was rumors of this happening. I was pretty doubtful, but then more information came out. They finally copped to it and posted a statement saying that due to unforeseen circumstances, they had to cancel. I can't remember a thing that was canceled last with Metallica other than the pandemic. Like, they never cancel anything. The lineup was huge. If you want to focus in on this lineup, I'll just make this big for a second so you can look at this lineup. And I mean, this is crazy. Metallica, Linkin Park, Queens of the Stone Age, Evanescence, AFI, Ministry, 311, Gojira, Acid Bath. They're still going to play Sonic Temple. Oh, thanks, man. I wanted to talk. Yeah. Omar, like I said, we've been talking about this. Omar's friends with Ben. So I think if we're going to get a Dillinger Escape Plan interview, it will happen. And it will happen with Omar and Ben. They're buddies, which I appreciate. Down, Melvins, 3 Days Grace, Cannibal Corpse, Meshuggah, Tomahawk, The Return of Tomahawk, Cradle of Filth, Testament, Mastodon, Refused on their farewell tour, the Hives, Carcass, Exodus, Machine Head, Era, Quicksand, Arch Enemy, Orgy, Lacuna Coil, Stabbing Westward, Dope, Scowl, Glassjaw, Flaming Lips. It's just crazy. Now, just really quick, I don't know if people want to talk about this. Why did this festival get canceled? And here's what the truth is. A lot of people are just running away with their imaginations and bullshit talk. So Sick New World is run by C3 Entertainment, which also is responsible for Lollapalooza and When We Were Young Fest and a bunch of other things. They are not a poorly run company. The reason they cancel is I'm speculating a little, but it's actually common knowledge. Yes, it wasn't poor ticket sales. It was just lower ticket sales compared to the first 2 years when there was bigger demand because they had System of a Down, who had barely ever played, especially that first year. That first year, those Sick New World tickets sold out in a weekend or less. The last year, they sold out again, System not really touring a lot, and definitely back on hiatus, honestly, with all three, 4 members of System of a Down kind of off on their own projects. Scars on Broadway will still put out music this year and tour. Serge has a new solo record. He has a book out. He has a documentary coming out. He has a lot of stuff going on. And Chavo has 7 Hours After Violet, which also would have been on this tour, this festival. It's not just that it's poor ticket sales. The people who organized the festival, apparently, yes, Metallica and Linkin Park were set to split about $5 million. Just for some perspective, because we've done, I don't know if you guys have watched on our YouTube channel, everydayers know, we did a Mayhem Fest preview and history, deep dive history on the entire history of Mayhem Fest. We did a deep dive review of Woodstock 94 and Woodstock 99. We have more stuff like that in that vein coming soon. But what we talked about was, like Mayhem Fest, when they first came out, they had 2 huge sponsors that coughed up like $1 million to $2 million a year. Sick New World also has huge sponsors. It's not really a Live Nation festival. I think Live Nation is minimally involved, if any. But what happened is, I think the company that does put on the Sick New World and When We Were Young is leveraged badly against debt. So they were in debt for the first year. They were in debt for the second year. And it's not that they couldn't put on the festival or the tickets didn't sell. If the tickets would have sold out. Metallica always sells out. Linkin Park, I think there's not enough scarcity. Metallica has a huge tour booked, and you could go see them anywhere else in the country. It's not exclusive. Linkin Park just sold out a whole arena tour all over the world. It's not exclusive to have Linkin Park. And maybe other than Acid Bath and Down and Melvins and Tomahawk, there's not a lot of big draws here. Kitty is playing for the 3rd year in a row. Seven Dust, I believe, is playing again. Static X is playing again. Would have been cool to see Meshuggah, Mastodon, Refused, Testament, Exodus, Mayhem, Quicksand, Arch Enemy, bands you normally don't see. But Orgy, Stabbing Westward, Birthday Massacre were all repeats, even though I love those bands deeply. So I think it's just an issue. Yeah, Acid Bath would have been the thing. Believe me, Stephanie, I was looking forward to seeing you. They will be at... here's my prediction, first of all. A lot of these bands already have tours booked, except for Tomahawk, which said that they can't continue to tour without this festival. Down, is adding new dates and shows and festivals. They just got announced for what day they're playing on Milwaukee Metal Fest. So they're definitely not, a lot of these bands are still going to tour. Dope is going to tour. All these bands are going to tour. Terror. I think Acid Bath will play the big festivals and then book a brief headline tour. So I think you will still get a chance to see Acid Bath. I was really hoping for Tomahawk to come back, but, you know, Patton also has Bungle that's active right now, and maybe other things we don't know about. Gojira already probably has a tour planned. We haven't heard yet. We already know they have other tour dates coming up soon in Europe all next summer. So I think what happened is they were just in debt. They were going to fall deeper into debt. It's not about the money. Oh my God, $5 million for Metallica and Linkin Park. Bros and broettes. That's what they make. So I was going to say about Mayhem Fest 15 years ago when Mayhem Fest started, there was $1 million to split for 2 bands or 1 headline band. Fast forward that with inflation, and 2.5 million is about what Metallica makes more than that in their own headline show in a day. And to play someone else's festival is actually a pain in the ass for them. They don't really like it. And I can go into details about why and my reasoning for that. And Linkin Park, when it was just that show in America, oh my God, Linkin Park's going to play Sick New World? Cool. I say like it's less new metal with Queens of the Stone Age and Metallica and Evanescence, but Evanescence already played Sick New World, and Queens of the Stone Age is going to make a big comeback next year following Josh's health issues, Josh Homme. So, and AFI is kind of right in between the gothy and new metal and industrial stuff, you know, the goth, the new wave dancey goths. So, you know, I'm sad to see. Yeah, I'm telling you, Stephanie, I really wanted to see Tomahawk too. I'm sad to see the festival not happen. It was a lot more money. Tickets were 25% higher cost for a one-day festival. I always thought this should have been a multiple-day festival. Everybody knows that I went the first year. We had some spies on the ground year 2. I wasn't there in person, but I was there year 1. It was run mostly well, other than some issues. They tried to address those things. I don't know if they're coming back. It seems like they might not, or it'll have to come back in a smaller capacity. Again, I think a smaller 2-day festival is better than a giant try to go all in and overcharge. And honestly, let's get honest, really, truly honest. I've gone to Vegas quite a bit the last few years, and Vegas is not a cheap place anymore. It's you can't, even if you try to do Vegas on a shoestring, it's very, very expensive. So Sick New World bites the dust, and I hope it comes back, but I'm not sure. Best of luck. And I feel bad. If you lost money, if you bought tickets and didn't have insurance, if you feel jerked by this, I am truly sorry this happened to you, because that shit sucks. And I was looking forward to it. I was going to try to go. Now I will go do other things. Good Things Festival is this weekend with Korn. And we just found out that Sum 41 dropped out. But this is Korn. This is down under in Australia. And this is Australia, Sydney, and Brisbane, I believe. And it's Korn, no more Sum 41, which is a big bummer to lose your second biggest band off the lineup. And they're on their farewell tour, so that's that. They're not going to come back to Australia, probably. Violent Femmes, Electric Callboy, Billy Corgan solo. Mastodon, Kerry King, who's on a tour of Australia and New Zealand right now. Gaslight Anthem, Jet, The Living End, L7, North Lane, phenomenal band we've interviewed a bunch of times. Formerly controversial band Alpha Wolf, Bowling for Soup, love them. Butterfly Effect, Sleeping with Sirens, 311, Destroy Boys, controversial Frank Turner. I think he's playing solo and not with the Sleeping Souls at that show. From Ashes to New Grandson, Highly Suspect, Imminence, and more. But yeah, so Derek Whibley, seen here in a photo shot by Ghost Cult's own Randall Hicks from Windy Brick Photography out of Chicago in the Chicagoland area. He said he's having some mental health problems. You know, he put a book out this fall that was like a memoir that's extremely painful. The headline tour for the whole year has been grueling. They have a handful of shows booked for 2025, and then they're retiring. So I feel bad if you're getting shut out of seeing Sum 41 right now, but I don't, this guy's beat, almost death from alcoholism and drugs. I'm glad he's around. KC is here. I'm also KC. Dogs Rule joined. Dogs Rule. They do rule. I'll give you the horns, bro. Just tough stuff. I gotta be honest with you. Just tough stuff. All right, let's get back to my face. Let's see me. Me. A lot of me. Got the frog mask. If you tuned in early, we'll just show the frog mask. I can't put it back on, but we started the show wearing this guy. We get wacky. Almost on a Friday. Eindhoven Metal Meeting is coming up in another week or so. This lineup is killer. I believe there's a chance we're going to cover it. We've covered it many times in the past. As you know, Ghost Cult was founded in the Netherlands. Eindhoven is right near where we were formed. And Eindhoven Metal Meeting, always a great, mostly death and black metal festival. Thursday night lineup, Saturnalia Temple and Deadhead and a bunch of other bands. And then for the proper festival on the 13th and 14th of December, next week in Catatonia, Dark Funeral, Asphyx. Anil Nakrath was going to retire, and then they said no. And Division Bleak and a bunch of other bands. So I can't read these logos. Bands, if you want me to help you, help me help you with legible logos. But what a killer lineup. I do hope we get to cover it. Aftershock, early bird tickets went on sale today. There's probably some of the most impatient fans in the world are Aftershock Festival. I don't know how they could possibly top the lineup next year, except that it will not have Motley Crue, which is a bonus. But Slipknot, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Slayer, and a bunch of other killer bands. So the early bird tickets are on sale now as low as $1 down. You will not beat that. Obviously, they have payment plans you have to honor. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. I hope you all go. I had a good time. It's very hot up in Sacramento. But yeah. Danny Wimmer festivals, other than the weather, they're hard to beat. Tons of Rock has announced a bunch of new bands. We've covered Tons of Rock before. Added to the bill are a bunch of bands, but headlined by Muse, Green Day, and now Avenged Sevenfold. I think they also added Machine Head and Jerry Cantrell, Dream Theater, Electric Callboy, Powerwolf, Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter from Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes, now on hiatus, Weezer, Turbo Negro, Orbit Culture, Dimmu Borgir, who are in the studio making new music, Meshuggah, Emperor. We have some Emperor news also coming up, Megadeth, and many more. Oh, itchy trigger finger. I'm going crazy over here. Motocultor Festival is rebooked again, headlined by Machine Head. They don't headline a lot of festivals, but there's a lot of Machine Head stuff going on. They have a new record they're working on. And they did a big Black Friday sale. Rob Flynn has his own clothing line. The Mary Tyler Whores are here. One of my favorite named bands ever on Golden Robot Records. I'm excited for your new record. But again, Dimmu Borgir, I Prevail, Kerry King Solo, Mogwai, Landmarks, Blind Guardian, Carpenter Brute, Cult of Luna, Dark Angel, Ivor, Envy, Fear Factory, Eson, Cataclysm, Magma, Me and That Man. That's Nergal from Behemoth's dark folk project, All for Metal, Between the Buried and Me, and Sephirum, Enthroned, Exhorter, Fintroll. This is in alphabetical order. I just realized that. Flesh God Apocalypse, Greenland, Gutlax, I know those guys, or know one of those guys, Horror, King Buffalo, Lacuna Coil, Nail Bomb. That's the second Nail Bomb show. We have our Nail Bomb coverage of the Max Kevlar Dynasty tour coming up tomorrow, or show. Snot. We've been talked about that about a month ago, that Snot was going to announce a new singer. They haven't yet said who's going to sing for them, but they are coming back to do some festivals. Paleface Swiss, Pelican, Solstice, Suffocation, and many more. Very cool, very cool. Reading and Leeds festivals, usually pop and rap and not a lot of, just a bit of rock. They did start out as more rock-centric festivals. Reading and Leeds announced Bring Me the Horizon as one of the 2-day headliners this year. Holy cow, along with Travis Scott, Hozier, and Chapel Roan. So, wow. Bring Me the Horizon, huge year for them. Killer new album, bunch of collabs, sold out tours, all kinds of stuff. Maybe not for you. Saw Snot, Concrete, new record coming out soon. Saw Snot in a small-ass club in Albany, New York, way back when. I also saw Snot first in a tiny club show and then on Ozfest. I miss Lynn Straight. Tragically had his life cut short. I'm a big fan of that first Snot record and the second record, which is basically a tribute. Here's a great story I'll tell you really quick. At the Massachusetts date of the Ozfest 98, Limp Bizkit was performing on that tour. They were becoming huge at that time on the back of the single, their cover of George Michael's Faith, and the first full album, $3 Bill Y'all. And they had a giant toilet bowl the band would come out of and perform on the stage, and they came out of this big toilet. Lynn Straight, I don't know if somebody dared him or what, he gets buck-ass naked, strips naked, comes out of the toilet in the middle of Limp Bizkit's show, streaks through the stage, runs through the whole area of the venue, runs through the backstage. Cops are chasing him. Massachusetts State Police are chasing him. He runs all the way into the parking lot, completely nude. They tackle him and arrest him, and they're like, they put him in cuffs. They get ready to book him, and they ask him, "What is your name?" And he said, "My name is David Scott Mustaine." Which Dave Mustaine, who was on that tour as one of the co-headliners, could not have been happy. Top 3 bands on that bill were Ozzy, Tool, and Megadeth. And Snot was a second stage band. But what a lot of personality that guy had. Isn't that a funny story? Rest in power, Lynn Straight. That's what I got to say. All right. This is incredible. I don't know if this is really a festival or just a big-ass show, but the Tune Low, Die Slow, Ho-Ho show is this weekend at Empire Live. That's in Albany, New York, and led by the Acacia Strain on both nights, December 6th and 7th. So tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. What a lineup. Acacia Strain on both nights. Friday night also includes Sanguisugaba, Gridiron, Volcano, Missing Link, No Cure, new album out tomorrow, Brick by Brick, Final Resting Place, Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean, Pure Bliss, and a couple of other bands. And then on Saturday, Acacia Strain, Mind Force, Undeath on Broken Wings, Year of the Knife, their second show back after their terrible accident. Vomit Forth, Balmora, these bands are all incredible to me. Prize, Cold Kiss, Spirit Killer, also very good, and Bad Impressions. A couple I don't know, but most of these bands is literally like 24 killer hardcore and deathcore and death metal bands. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, that story's great, right, Emerita? That's a great story. I love Lynn. I love me some Lynn Straight, man. Say something for the record. Say something for the people. Fuck the record and fuck the people. That's forever, yo. Tool and their extremely expensive Tool in the Sand Festival, Destination Festival in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic this March has announced their daily running orders Friday and Saturday. Tool, Primus, Coheed and Friday and Saturday, Tool, Primus, Coheed and Cambria, King's X. Saturday, Tool, Mastodon, Eagles of Death Metal, Fishbone. Tool. I'm confused. This poster's confusing, not quite logical. They should have put it out with a daily running order, but I believe Tool's going to play Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday will be Mastodon, Eagles of Death Metal, Fishbone, CKY, Wheel, and Moonwalker. Sorry about that. Still pretty great. Tool 2 nights, Mastodon 1 night. I'm into it. Primus will also be joined by Danny Carey of Tool on drums. We don't play music on this podcast, dear Mark, but I appreciate you trying not to get demonetized. I love me some Silosis, though. I've interviewed Josh Middleton. We've interviewed Allie Richardson, both of that band. And Allie is also from Bleed From Within. We're going to talk about them in a minute. But I appreciate you for chiming in here and saying what's up. T-Bone is also here. Holy shit, T-Bone. Prophet the Goat loves Coheed. Well, you know what? Balmira drop, but No Cure was added. All right, cool. Good to know, Concrete. Are you from that? Sanguisa and Volcano also dropped. Well, that sucks. Are you up there? I did not see Head P announce a new tour with Flaw. Flaw, very controversial, getting in a lot of hot water for stealing songs, but I've always been a big PE fan. You can come check out our YouTube, Prophet, where I interviewed Jared and had an incredible conversation with him a couple years back. Apparently, Boise, Idaho is the move. If you're tired of living in Hollywood and you want a cheap house in a beautiful, safe place, you go to Boise. I didn't know that was the thing, but he told me all about it. Anywho, Metal Battle from Wacken Open Air. Registrations for USA Metal Battle of the Bands to play at Wacken in 2025 are open now and are closing in 10 days. You have till December 15th. Ghost Cult is a media partner of Wacken Battle Metal. And this is a worldwide competition. Europe, Canada, South America, North America. So, USA. So if you got a band and you want to get down and see if you can make it, go for it. All right, Concrete. Nice to meet you, man. We're a big fan of Upstate Records. I don't know if you're a fan. Those are homies. They're doing some award show in January. Maybe we should get there and cover it since we have a lot of New York City people. Damnation Festival. We were honored to cover Damnation Festival for the 10th time this year, and they've announced their first bands for the 20th anniversary edition in 2025. Perturbator, The Haunted, coming back with a new album. Super stoked. Pig Destroyer, Warning, not The Warning, but Warning. Wormrot, sick, coming back with new music. Guerra, Mantar, Hell Ripper, Frail Body, Meryl Streak. What a great name that is. Crippling Alcoholism. Not that great a name, but I feel that deeply. Oh, you were signed to them. Oh, you're headlining the award pre-show. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Concrete, man, very cool. DM me where we can find your music. Send me some links or whatever. Or email me, man. Big fan of Upstate Records. Big fan. Camp Punksylvania is coming back next summer. We've featured this in our news sections, and we've interviewed the founders. Celebrating 5 years of totally not being a cult. Usually punk rock, pop punk, crossover thrash a little bit. Camping, punk rock, community, inclusiveness. I like it. It's kind of like a skull with a cake and some kind of zombie cake shit going on here. Looks cool. Looks cool. We'll get the lineup as soon as they drop it and send it to us, man. Also, Fire in the Mountains Festival has added Wardruno. Wardruno's new album is coming out in January. Spoiler alert, there's a new song coming out this weekend. And Old Man's Child is on this. Oh my gosh. I know a lot of people are much more excited for Galder's Old Man's Child to return rather than Dimmu Borgir. Chelsea Wolfe just added Converge. Oh my gosh. Hex Vessel, Emma Ruth Rundle, Steve Von Till, Stonia. I've never been to Montana, but this sounds really awesome. I might just need to do this. But also summertime in the mountains doesn't sound too fun for me, but maybe. See what kind of shape I'm in physically next year. I've been having a rough time. Better than I was to start last year, but still not great. Shakey Knees Festival. Normally, we don't highlight this festival a lot. It's mostly some rock. But the interesting thing about, so this takes place every May in Atlanta at the Olympic Central Park in downtown Atlanta, which I have been to. I had a very good time there. Now, the problem with Shakey Knees Fest is I believe this poster says May, but I actually believe this festival is getting moved to the same weekend in September that all the other festivals at, like Metal and Hardcore Festival and Riot Fest and Knot Fest probably again. Holy shit. So Shakey Knees this year, Noah Kahan, not a big fan, pop guy. Arcade Fire, Young the Giant, Interpol, Revivalist, Eve's Tumor, Metric, all them witches though, Switchfoot though, Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. I have no idea who they are, but that sounds fun. Weezer, Queens of the Stone Age, Offspring, Girl in Red, Mike Snow, Royal Blood, Sunny Day Real Estate doing a bunch of comeback shows next year. Chicano Batman, Microwave, Killer Band. I missed them because they got rained out at Riot Fest 2 years ago. Dead Poet Society, Foo Fighters, in their very first thing announced since the Dave Grohl impregnating somebody, not his wife controversy. Billy Idol, who's working on a new record. Portugal the Man, who I've seen live before. Dinosaur Jr., Wadahache, who rules. Matt and Kim, The Struts, and Kingfish, Ingram, and many more. Nova Twins, that's pretty cool. Tony C. Gallegos is here. What up, what up, what up? Just trying to whiz through the show. Let's get to it. Almost done. Cave-In has announced they will play all of their classic album Jupiter at Roadburn. Roadburn already shaping up to be an incredible festival. And Cave-In will also re-release a new remastered and deluxe edition of Jupiter, arguably their best record, probably their best record, by Relapse Records this year. So very exciting. I need to get back to Roadburn. It probably won't be in 25, but we always cover Roadburn. Ghost Cult was formed to cover festivals like Roadburn in Europe. And then with all these tickets and tours, and that's just the festivals, we got the tour dates coming up now. We're all going to be eating Ice Cube and white bread sandwiches. Holy shit. It's almost payday, everybody. Where are we going to get the money for this shit? I don't know. I don't know. But all right, let's jam through these tour dates. So that was the festivals, tour dates and one-offs. Let's go. AC/DC, to no surprise, has been coming for a long time, announced the North American tour for their Power Up album. But weirdly, Power Up came out 4 years ago, so it's going to be 5 years old by the time they play these dates almost. 4.5 years old. It's only 13 dates. I'm really shocked that it's only 13 dates, but they are playing stadiums and arenas. I don't know why there was a rumor that Axl Rose was going to come back into AC/DC. It's just not plausible. Brian has got his hearing back through a surgery and a procedure. He's great. Band's on good terms. Angus and Brian Stevie Young, their nephew, new bassist, new drummer. And The Pretty Reckless is going to be on direct support for all of these shows. I'm surprised it's so few. I've never seen AC/DC. It's like one of the few bands I have never actually seen myself, and I might have to go. I've never seen him. I don't know. If I don't, I miss Malcolm. Malcolm was my dude. So it kind of sucks that I didn't go see him with Malcolm. I always took him for granted they'd be around forever. Literally, the AC/DC of something is a whole. The AC/DC of punk, the AC/DC of thrash, the AC/DC of prog. That's a thing. So, like, maybe I should see AC/DC before they're gone. McKenna's here. KB is here. Becky Moody is also here. What up, what up, what up? I never talk about this guy. Oh, my God. I had to talk about it. Falling in Reverse. Jesus Christ on a bike. So, I'll make no secret. I don't like this band. I don't think they're a good band. I'm baffled by their success. But I understand that they have diehard fucking fans, right? And Ronnie is a crazy troll and loves picking fights with people publicly. So he was just in Europe a few months ago for a headline tour. He has a whole tour booked for the winter. He was supposed to go on tour this week or next week. And the government of England has changed some of their rules in the meantime and said anybody that has served more than 12 months in jail ever cannot enter England, which we know that Ronnie was in jail in 2008. And he served his time. And he did his time, and he came back out, and he's had a music career ever since. And as far as I know, not been in legal trouble since then, just other internet trouble, FAFO trouble. And here's my point. Like, he decided, first of all, he called out, like, the hardcore scene is soft. Like, dude, no one has ever considered you in the hardcore scene or hardcore about as much as I'm hardcore. Like, I have a lot of friends in the hardcore scene. I came up in the hardcore scene adjacent, but I can't ever claim I was a hardcore kid. Neither can you. But okay, fine. Guy's talented, I guess. But here's the problem. Here's the thing. When he knew in advance the tour was not going to be able to happen. They revoked his visa. Don't announce it at the last second. Let people know immediately so they can get their refunds. Stop this victim shit. This guy's like most people like him, a professional victim. I don't know if it's millennials or whatever his age is, but like it's a bunch of bullshit. This guy sucks. If you're a fan, that's cool. I think the music is mid. The music I made in my bands 15, 20 years ago, far superior to whatever he's trying to do. I understand why it's catchy and why people are compelled to like him. You know, I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm going to troll everybody. He had some beef. Another festival just canceled him and said he can't perform there. And he picked a public brawl with them. It's like very unprofessional. But it's like you're doing a disservice to your fans. And I'm not celebrating that the tour is canceled. I'm sad the tour is canceled because a lot of people have jobs for an arena tour. A lot of people are out of work that day. A lot of people spend a lot of money they can't get back to go. I'm not celebrating that his tour was canceled. I'm pointing out the fact that he's a dumbass for not announcing it as soon as he knew they could not come on tour, because that's doing a disservice to your fans you supposedly love. And he's putting out a charity shirt or something, and 100% of the proceeds are going to go to charity. Cool if that makes you feel good. It's a tax write-off for you. We all know. But, I just feel like I need all exchanges here. I just feel like a guy that just bought like a $9 million house in Beverly Hills should treat his fans better and not be such an asshat all the time. Come at me, bro. I wish you would. I don't think this band is good. I don't care. I'm not supposed to have favorites or bands I don't openly, support, but we never talk about this band. But I just felt like the behavior and the timing was so shitty. I had to bring it out. Whatever. I don't care. Guy sucks. Yo. Need all exchange. Yo. Anyway, here's another. Pierce the Veil announced a world tour. I Can't Hear You world tour dates. North America is going to feature Sleeping with Sirens, Beach Weather, and Daisy Grenade, but they booked an entire world tour of arenas and festivals. Wow. I was surprised they co-headlined with Hailstorm in the North American arena tour, but here we are. We've been talking for months and months about like who is going to take the place of the greats and be the next arena tour or whatever, the next arena level band. And Pierce the Veil is apparently one of them. I'm surprised, to be honest, but okay, cool. This one is the shit, though. Emperor. Oh, my God. My favorite black metal band ever. I've been lucky enough to see them twice. Emperor is doing a brief headline tour this spring on different dates, having support from Wolves in the Throne Room, Agalloch, and Wayfarer. They are going to play selections or all of, we're not sure yet, from the Nightside Eclipse. Easily one of the best black metal records of all time. Just this handful of dates: Worcester, Brooklyn, Silver Spring, Maryland, Denver, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Anaheim. Hopefully we'll get to cover this tour. We did not get to cover the tour a year and a half ago. We were kind of couldn't get to do it. It just didn't work out. But hopefully next time we'll get it. I would take 100 Emperors against the Falling in Reverse, by the way. God damn it. Anyway, also, Meshuggah. This tour is going to ruin whole cities. Meshuggah, Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass teaming up for a huge North American tour. So kind of surprised, mildly surprised that it's not co-headlining, that Meshuggah is headlining over Cannibal Corpse, and Carcass is going to open. We've seen Carcass do a lot of opening slots. They're not prideful or egotistical. But Meshuggah is getting that big. Just getting that big. I don't throw the word legendary around a lot in Eat All Exchange, I'm just going to tell you. But I use it in some cases. Emperor, absolutely legendary. All three bands on here, absolutely legendary. Who's going to some of these shows? Drop a comment. Let us know. Tell us what show you're going to. Maybe we'll hang out. Or you can say hi to whoever we have covering that show in the city near you. God forbid, a little bit of a bummer. God forbid is doing their first West Coast dates, I think, in 12 or 13 years. Next weekend, they did cancel the Sacramento show. I was planning to go. I had to get my refund from Amtrak for going up there. Just logistically not going to work out, according to a statement from the band. They will make it up to the fans in Northern California. But the 3 shows, a headline show at the Region in LA, plus 2 shows opening up for Bleeding Through on their anniversary shows, all in the Southern California and San Diego area. Los Angeles and San Diego, super stoked for some God forbid stuff. And apparently they've been practicing some baller stuff, maybe some deep cuts. So very excited so far. A couple of years of success, mostly success for the God forbid comeback. This is the first show I think they've had to cancel. Also, Danzig. This tour has been talked about for a while. Just the West Coast. I think we're going to get it tomorrow morning. Danzig, Down, AOTY, and Cro-Mags for probably a handful of dates. We all know Danzig does not like to tour. We already know this is for March. We already know Misfits are playing Coachella in April. Maybe Misfits hasn't even gone to Europe yet. I'm still surprised, but he really hates touring. I expect the ticket to this show to be astronomically high, probably like $80-$90 a ticket with those bands. Down or Danzig, I would easily pay probably like $40-$50 a piece to see. And AOTY is a theater headliner, and Cro-Mags are excellent as the Harley Flanagan Cro-Mags, who I saw last spring. Zaki127 is like, yo, I'm doing homework. Can you explain the court case of Izzy and Judas Priest? Well, not in this show at this time. I'm not sure what you're asking about. If you're asking about the Judas Priest unalive situation, and Izzy, I don't know if you mean Izzy Stradlin from GNR or someone else, but sorry, Zaki. Normally I'm full of wisdom, and I love to share my knowledge of rock and metal history, but probably not as much today, because I got to get through this show and get to my thing I'm doing. Smooch is a charity show every year in Seattle supporting the Children's Hospital of Seattle, and we are finally getting the very first reunion of the surviving members of Soundgarden. They're going to be called the New Dragons, which is a name that Soundgarden... Oh, Ozzy. Well, there's been many court cases against Ozzy. So sorry about that. Boss Hogg is here. Carrie Howard is here. So New Dragons featuring Shania Shepherd, who's a local Seattle singer. So they picked, similar to Linkin Park. This is not going to be like the new Soundgarden. I have a feeling that the remaining members of Soundgarden will carry on as a band by themselves eventually with a new singer and not do Soundgarden stuff and do new music. I do hope I believe the case was settled between Chris Cornell's wife and the remaining members of Soundgarden, and we are going to get that Soundgarden final album that they were working on at the time of Chris's death. But yeah, I mean, this is around the corner. We're going to find out. We're going to see video next weekend, next Saturday, about the members of Soundgarden playing Soundgarden songs. I weep for the loss of Chris Cornell every damn day. Got to tell you, Spirit Box is already a credible tour. Spirit Box, Loathe, Dying Wish, and more. And they already had to add a second date in LA because this tour is selling out quickly. Morn is here. Hello, Morn. Morn just toured all of Europe with our our good friend Hillary Jason, who has done a lot of photography for Ghost Cult over the time. I'm going to move this microphone. Oh, drop the pill bottle. But anyway, yeah. And weird focusing issues with my camera all of a sudden. And that made it worse. All right. I'll just sit still. All right. Anyway. So, Avenged Sevenfold, we already mentioned them on some festivals. They announced a huge tour of Europe for next summer. El Numero Uno is here. I love your screen name, El Numero Uno. If you have a fun and cool screen name, I'm always going to shout it out. Helmet announced the 30th anniversary of Betty tour. I saw Helmet this spring. They were killer. Slomosa is going to be the opening band. Very cool to see like a stoner doom band open for Helmet. Very cool. Helmet's earliest stuff was like very sludgy and stonery and not as progressive rock and heavy metal as they ended up being later. But I love Betty forever. There was an awesome Betty Record Store Day Black Friday variant that you might still be able to get at the Record Store Day Market website. You can check out our Record Store Day video to get more info on what came out on Record Store Day. That was a lot of fun, that live stream. Still trying to do more and more live streams. It's just hard to make the time. Thunder and Lightning is here also. Hello. Better Lovers Tour continues to roll on. Their drummer had to go home for a family emergency, so they got to fill in. I saw that show last Friday, and it was bananas. They have been playing theaters, and then they played 924 Gilman, which is like the punk rock little 200-person venue, and it was absolutely madness, and I'm lucky I survived. I was pretty much okay getting popped around and bopped around and moshed into the whole night till the very end. Then my body was hating me all weekend because I'm old. But it was fun. It was life-affirming. Full of Hell. We got to see Better Lovers, Full of Hell, Spy, and Cloakroom. I think other people got to see Gouge Away and other bands on different parts of the tour. Volthum is here. Hello, Volthum. Thanks for liking the live. I appreciate you. Let's get some hearts and likes happening here. TikTok, what the fuck? Pearl Jam just announced a huge Dark Matter headline tour of the U.S. I think it's baseball stadiums. Pearl Jam does the Pearl Jam thing. I know Dead and Company, which I don't care about, announced like 20 dates at the Sphere. I'm still waiting for like a more modern killer rock band to do the Sphere, like Foo Fighters or something. That's what I'd like to see. Seven Kingdoms tour continues to roll on. Our review of that is coming soon. Seven Kingdoms, Stryker, and Lutharo. Dead Bob, as I mentioned before, we just interviewed Dead Bob. This is John Wright, formerly in No Means No. Their last few tour dates are this weekend on the West Coast. Try to check it out. Check out their album on Bandcamp. They appreciate it. I don't know why TikTok is trying to sell me shit right now when I'm trying to do my live stream. Cold Chamber on their upcoming rebooked tour with Fear Factory and Twisted has added 10 more dates. So as predicted, that tour is back on for the spring and adding more and more dates. So if you thought they didn't hit your city before, they will now. This is really cool. We've lost so many venues over the years that when a new venue pops up, I get really excited. So Quintacula Productions in Connecticut, in Stamford, has announced Friday Night Rocks, a new concert series at T's Pizza and Kitchen Backroom, 523 Pacific Street in Stamford. I know the Metro North goes there. I know the Troy. You can drive there. Soft opening this weekend, tomorrow, Quinn and Shrug, free pizza. Next weekend, the grand opening with Soft Spot, River Witches, and The Windup. And Friday, December 20th, Cemetery Moon and our homies in Turkey Vulture. Turkey Vulture, former Ghost Cult interviewees and friends. We call them friends and allies. So this is cool. When a new place opens up, we try to shout it out, Try being 51 and wandering into Gilman. I did that. I'm 52 and I wandered into Gilman and I literally had a panic attack. It was so crowded. I had a fucking panic attack in 2 seconds. And the security guy was like, "Are you okay?" I am not okay. I need a minute. And then I composed myself and I was fine. But I've been having a hard year. El Numero Uno. If you're local to me, let's be friends. I'm sure I'll see you in another show. I'm going to Chelsea Wolfe next week and Fishbone next week, and then probably one of the Death Angel Christmas shows. That's all the tour dates and festivals in an unmanageable 1 hour. Let's do the rest of the show quickly. Country music, Christmas music, me in the middle. I wish I was deaf. Fuck. Mariah Carey has crawled out of her crypt for another 30 days. Fuck. I like the holidays too, but Jesus. All right. The news of the week, Body Count. We'll see if they have the same reaction Knock Loose and Poppy did on Jimmy Kimmel. Body Count played the Jimmy Fallon show and did their weird cover of Comfortably Numb very well. But I don't need that cover. But Merciless rocks. And I'm happy that my man Ice-T got to be on TV, not as Detective Finn Tutuola or in a rebroadcast of a movie he's been in. Liquid Death, our friends at Liquid Death, affiliate partners of Ghost Cult, put out a diaper today, partnering with Depends Undergarments for Men. I'm sure there'll be a women's version soon. They sold out. This thing went live at 10 a.m. Pacific, and it sold out in 1 hour at $75 a pop plus tax. You can pee or shit yourself at a show. If you're scared of losing your spot at the rail, I know this is a struggle for a lot of people. Honestly, a lot of you people come to shows. I go to shows and I'm like, did anyone wipe their ass today? Or no one. But, Liquid Death is full of fun and irreverence. And I love the commercial they put out for this thing as endorsed by Ben Keller of Converge. I don't know how the rest of Converge felt about this. I'm sure Jacob Bannon had thoughts that don't mesh with Ben's, but pretty cool. Pretty cool if you like Liquid Death. Perhaps they'll do another batch of these and a batch for the they, thems, and the ladies. We'll see. Just to follow up on a story apparently only we had last week, Baroness had played, they're finishing their tour in Europe, and they played in the UK, and at the end of the show, Gina liked to pass her guitar around for everybody to kind of play, and somebody thought it was being given away and ran off with her guitar, one of her rare Fender Telecaster tortoiseshell guitars. I don't know that it was returned. They did take the post down after a while. Can't tell from the tour photos that they're sharing on their socials that she got the guitar back or not. I haven't seen it, honestly, but they haven't made a statement. I don't like to report anything and leave it hanging out there erroneously, so I am sorry if Baroness lost the guitar. We're huge fans. We've interviewed the whole band before. I've met and hung out with them. Super cool, nice people. The kid plays volleyball, and you're slowing down on shows till May. But yeah, I will probably see you January. Definitely gonna do Kerry King, All Shall Perish, maybe Black Flag, but again, 2 nights back to back is probably too much for my old ass. And Stabbing Westward at August Hall is a definite for me. But that'd be cool, man. Come say hi. You're seeing the back of Maynard James Keenan and his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Cottonwood, Arizona. He has made a documentary. He's been talking about this. Maynard's head of security is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu master. Maynard has a black belt, I believe, in BJJ. And he's putting out a documentary next weekend at Pussifer TV and maybe Veeps, where you can see a documentary about why he opened up a jiu-jitsu school, why it's open for everyone, why it's aimed actually at beginners and people who've never been in martial arts before. Super interesting. Maynard James Keenan continue. You either hate him or you love him. He seems to be the most interesting man in the world. He makes wine. He's got 3 killer bands. Sesanta Tour #2 is coming up this spring with Pussifer, A Perfect Circle, and Primus. By then, Primus will hopefully have a permanent new drummer. So, Maynard doing the thing. Coffee. He's got a new vinyl store. All the things. Bleeding Through has announced their new album, 9, dropped the killer new single. They're going to play those shows next weekend. Hopefully Ghost Cult will be at one of them. At least Ghost Cult Omar will probably be at them because he will be working those shows. But with God forbid opening. But yeah, Bleeding Through, new music, super stoked. Their last record was killer. A lot of new stuff announced this week. All the 2025 stuff is hyping up now. Epica dropped a new single. They will probably have a new album announced soon. Very excited for new Epica. Dream Theater dropped another new single, and it was brutal. I was like, I did not have this on my bucket list. Dream Theater putting out super heavy new stuff. The Mike Portnoy effect continues. The 40th anniversary tour continues of South America. Very cool stuff. Jerry Cantrell today announced and dropped a new, sort of not a single, but he decided to do an accompaniment to his new album, I Want Blood, that just came out, where it's kind of like a visualizer with a spoken word over it. The artists and creators of both his previous album, Brighton, and I Want Blood, both worked on the visuals, like animations, and then spoken word over the top of the songs. And maybe like a, some kind of, a deeper understanding will be held from the Jerry solo music. I was a big fan of this record. I love me some Jerry, and hopefully they're going to start writing a new Alice in Chains album next year. Very, very cool. This is really cool. Mike Sarkisian, who's the guitar player of Spineshank, teamed up with Schecter Guitars and Dore, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, Fine Spirits to do a giveaway of their booze, which is very cool. You can check out those deets in the link in our description from ghostcoldmag.com. But very cool. Spineshank, I missed that band. I would really love for them to come back. Doesn't seem like it. Not sure what's going on with those folks, but just in case you need some extra stocking stuffers or gifts for Christmas, these two books are coming out. 500 Essential Emo Albums from Jimmy Eat World to My Chemical Romance, and then 500, Paige Owens is the author of both of these, 500 Essential Pop Punk Albums from Blondie to Blink-182. Very cool stuff coming up here. I may be getting these books to review, which will be fun. Another band dropping a new album announced this week is Bleed From Within. Last week we talked about their world tour plans. This week, new single, new video, new album pre-order. So very cool. It takes a lot of shekels to be a rock and metal fan. Concerts, festivals, new vinyl, merch, whatever. But, if you find a band you love and you love supporting, absolutely support them. Gary Holt autobiography pre-sale is already up and happening. Fabulous Disaster. This is Jesus Piece, who dropped a new EP today, as well as a new single and video. Very cool. I think Hannah B also dropped a new EP. We just didn't get to plug it into the thing. I think we talked about Gary's biography 2 weeks ago, but that was like the little scene show right before Thanksgiving. So maybe we'll talk more about it soon. I'm hoping to interview Gary and read the book. Oh my God, I got to talk about this stuff. Here's 3 bad stories in a row. We'll just get it out of the way. This sucks. First and foremost, trigger warning to everybody and anybody who this stuff is upsetting to. Sadist, who's a band who has a new album out this year that I interviewed earlier in the year. This is John Allen, the drummer of Sadist. This story has been all over the internet, and he obviously had an abusive relationship with his partner, who is on dialysis. Very disturbing videos and content emerged of John being very abusive to his partner in front of her child. I think it was handled pretty well by the music press that is obviously loves to witch hunt people. John did not put out a statement. The band is on tour in Europe with Obituary. They immediately fired him. And then I think the band also left the tour or were kicked off the tour because of the drama. We live in a society and there's no room for abuse. I don't care what anyone does or says. And, I met this guy like 15, 20 years ago and he seemed pretty cool, but a lot can change in a person's life in that time. And you don't know someone and you don't know what they're capable of. So very sad to see this shit happen. I got to talk about this. This pains me. Jeff from Possessed, Jeff Becerra, who I consider a friend. And we've covered Jeff and we've covered Possessed many times. We just saw them in San Francisco last month. And Jeff was outed for inappropriately texting a minor. He did fess up about it and made a very lengthy and I think humbled and proper statement and apology. It's very simple though. If you don't text any or DM any child that's not your own or your own relation or your own, like some reason you have to email. Don't ever message a minor. Especially men. Don't message a minor that's not your child. Don't do it. I think there's a lot of evidence that Jeff when this person tried to turn it into a suggestive relationship, friendship, he tried to break it off and did break it off eventually. He has the receipts where he sent messages back that were like, listen, why you don't do this? This is weird and not cool, but don't message anybody in the first place. It's not a kid. He did make a very strong apology and, says he made a mistake and he's not going to do it again. And he feels bad if he lost the trust of his people. I know Jeff personally, and he's a good dude. This is a terrible, any way you cut it, it's terrible. You made some terrible choices. Don't ever do it again. Don't message children who are not your children, period. Just gross. But Jeff's a good person. I know this in my heart. And I hope he learns from this mistake and he will not do this shit again. But I appreciate that he did the thing most people don't do, which is make an act of contrition and apologize. And then finally, in the horrible news department, I was gonna try to play like the KRS-One Sound of the Police boop boop sound effect, but I don't want to get demonetized again. That's why we don't play songs on this show. Axl Rose has finally settled his long-running sex assault case that he had said the whole way he was innocent. The person, I normally believe all victims, that's who I am as a person, but at the same time, this person made a memoir and a documentary about the incident and said it was consensual. And then recently, when the deadline was running out for her to file a lawsuit, she then said, oh, it wasn't consensual. So that poked holes in her case. Axl continues to maintain his innocence. He settled the case with her. It is over. And I believe we're going to get some GNR back next year or the year after. Right now, all the other people are doing different things. I'm still hopeful we're going to get some new Guns N' Roses music, but you hate these stories. You hate to do them, but, you know, it's just part and parcel of music. We got to do them. We got to just do them. On to some good news. Jesus Christ. King's Barcade, King's in Raleigh, North Carolina, which I have been to and spent many a good time at and seen many a show at, celebrated their 20th anniversary. It's hard to believe. I haven't been down there in over 10 years, but a fantastic place. A lot of smaller bands, like really an essential place for the DIY indie scene in Raleigh, North Carolina. So very cool. All right. I'm going to this right after this show, so I got to get the hell out of here. If this ever gets weird, is the brand new documentary about the incredible At the Drive-In. So I'm super stoked for this. We're going to check it out. Good band. I'm heading over right now to go see it. Tremonti's dropping a new album, dropped a new single. Very cool. While we get the Creed reunion tour dates. We've got some Creed coverage coming to the site soon. And we will see. Hola, Azucena. Good to see you. Voltham is still here. Thank you. Popular is here. Carla Shaney Felt is here. What up? Rob is here. All right. Bobby Landgraf, no longer a temporary member of Corrosion Conformity, but now the permanent replacement for Mike Dean. Kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I love COC and I love Mike the most. You saw Bobby last as the bass tech for Pantera on the world tour, the M72 world tour, and Pantera's additional tour dates, as well as a fill-in for Down until Kirk Winstein came back on guitar. So he's now the bassist for Corrosion Conformity. Progress continues on the new COC record, hopefully coming out in 2025. There's another cool book that's coming out soon. Mrs. Wilson's Children, The Adventures at the Welly Club in Hull, UK, not Hull, Mass, or anywhere else. It's 1979 to 1981 by Caroline Brown. And this book is an essential guide to the early days of post-punk and sort of post-punk and goth music. So I think this is going to be a cool little read. I may get a copy of this to read and interview Caroline in the future. So that may be coming soon to a podcast or the Ghost Cult channel near you. Fred Durst was on Hot Ones and drank hot dog flavored water along with comedian Kyle Mooney, who I don't think is very funny, but we're seeing a lot of celebrity Hot Ones now. Not just celebrity Hot Ones, but celebrity against minor celebrity. The Slipknot episode was quite good with Clown and Corey battling each other on super hot wings. Marco Hitala, formerly of Nightwish, has put out another new solo single. His new solo album is coming out soon. Karen Vaught Music is here also. B Dude Hill is here. Fred Rum is here. Is that like Red Rum? Fred Rum? That's pretty cool. Juan Garces is here. Backstage Papi Chulo is also here. How about in front of stage Papi Chulo? This blew me away, man. Joe Holmes, we were just talking about this guy on the Glacially Musical Porncast, a former Ozzy guitarist after Zakk Wylde and before Gus G. Joe Holmes has a new solo single out. You can go check it out on YouTube right now. And I believe Robert Trujillo is on bass because that's his buddy from when he was in Ozzy. So it's actually pretty killer. It sounds thrashy and heavy metal-y. I liked it. Heavy metal-y is not a word, but it kind of is. Also, D. Randall Blythe has announced, of Lamb of God, has a new book coming out, and he's announced some spoken word signing appearance dates around it. Very excited for that book. I also would like to get my hands on that book next year and talk to Randy, but We'll see. I've interviewed other members of Lamb of God, of Randy of God, of Lamb of God, but not Randy. Gibson Guitars has put out a brand new Jimmy Page double neck edition. The infamous Song Remains the Same double neck. He actually did not play that guitar on Stairway to Heaven, but in the movie, the Song Remains the Same. He's seen with the double neck, became an iconic image of classic 70s rock. And this guitar retails for $9,999.99. Holy shit. But if you are rich and you have money to burn a hole in your pocket and you love Led Zeppelin and you love that iconic image, maybe you can afford it. I cannot. I could get a whole studio for 10 grand. Speaking of Led Zeppelin, becoming Led Zeppelin, maybe you went to a movie in the last few months and you saw, perhaps at an IMAX, the IMAX Becoming Led Zeppelin trailer. And now you can experience it in IMAX. It's coming February 7th. And apparently it has a never-before-seen interview with John Bonham, who did very few interviews in his career. But very cool. Killswitch Engage, a side band featuring former Killswitch Engage singer Howard Jones and Adam D, is got its name, and it's called Burn Eternal. New Killswitch Engage album is supposed to come out next year. Howard has been working diligently on Light the Torch stuff and some other things, maybe a solo record eventually. And Burn Eternal is also apparently nearing completion and will soon be out because we now have a name. Not the most original name, but I'm excited to hear. I'd pay to hear Howard sing the phone book. Arch Enemy has now released a brand new single, a title track from their upcoming album, and we're getting a new Arch Enemy record and a huge world tour. All the things Arch Enemy does. All right, Motorhead, a lot of Motorhead stuff in the news lately. We talked about last week, Lemmy was being immortalized at Stringfellows, the strip club he favored in the 70s and 80s in the UK and London. Now there's a line of Motorhead hot sauces coming out. A lot of Motorhead stuff. In fact, I did a really cool band interview. Not a band interview. I interviewed a metal personality. We talked about Motorhead and a love of Motorhead, a deep love of Motorhead. So Lemmy, never far from our thoughts. Both his birthday and death anniversary are fast approaching us on the calendar in December. So rough times. But just a reminder, the Nick Nocturnal Awards are coming up soon. We were not nominated for one because we're not big enough to be nominated for one. But oh well, holy shit. We'll do our best. I voted. You can win. I think he's got a contest and is sponsored by Sweetwater Guitar Gear, and you can win $15,000 worth of Sweetwater gear from Nick Nocturnal. That's kind of cool. We interviewed him here at the channel. I'll link it in the description. It's just an opportunity for me to plug Nick. I think he's a good dude. Maybe next year we get nominated. I don't know. We're not quite big enough, I guess, but whatever. Maybe someday. Ruptura Comics just announced their formation, and Mike is here. What up? Ruptura has taken, I don't know if you guys remember a couple of years ago, there was a brand of comic books and toys and online store called Incendium. And there was also an Opus Comics, also kind of co-owned by Incendium. Well, they went under, and Ruptura bought up their licenses and their merch. So you can now get, if you were looking for Joe Satriani action figures and Cradle of Filth comic books, you can now go to Ruptura.com and fulfill those collections. I'm pretty excited to see what they do. It is a very competitive and tough time right now in geek stuff. You know, we love nerd shit all the time. We did Super 7 toys last week. I have a bunch of Funkos. I just happen to have my keeping me company, my Funko Ronnie James Dio, right here on my desk that I look at all the time for inspiration with a microphone and the devil horns, just like Ronnie. But Ruptura Comics, good luck to y'all. And I'm sorry to hear Incendium went bye-bye. I didn't really notice they hadn't sent me an email in like a year. And then I just got this email today about Ruptura. So check them out. And then we're almost done here. They told me Slayer sucks, and I told them hell awaits. It's time for the New Music Friday rundown. Let's quickly breeze through the albums. There's a bunch of albums coming out tomorrow. There's a bunch of albums coming out next week, and then it's going to get very quiet down to a trickle. We're going to take a little break from our New Music Friday postings. But let's just read off the list of what's coming out this week. All right. I got to read it on this screen here. Among These Ashes, Embers of Elysium, Athena 19, Everflow, Part 1, Axioma, Burn Down Eden, Epiphany, Cardinal Noir, Vitriol for some industrial EDM metal. Celebration Summer, A Little Less Numb on Den of Wax Records. Detest, A World Drowning in Detest on Emancipation Productions, probably a death metal band. DeWolf, Muscle Shoals, some rock and blues. Ghost Wound, self-titled on Go Down record, killer band. Lulk, Lalk, Last Days at the Hot Slit, Overdrive Records. I don't know. Mystery Blue, Night Demon, the album, not Night Demon, the band, by the way. Let's see, Nanowar of Steel, very cool band. Nanowar of Steel, 20 Years of Steel. That's kind of cool title. Let's see what else. Neckbreaker Within the Viscera on Nuclear Blast record, kind of like groovy deathcore, death metal. No Cure, we talked about them earlier. I Hope I Die Here EP on Sharp Tone Records, last great hardcore record of the year. Old Forest Graveside on Soul Seller Records. Panzerchrist, Maleficium. Pillar of Light, Caldera, you can read that review at Ghost Cults. Shotgun Sawyer, self-titled on Ripple Music. 6 Months of Sun, that review will go tonight. Creatures, Stone Horses, Redemption Chronicles. Svartjern, Draw Blood on Soul Seller Records. Tak Masumoto Group, TMG2 on Frontiers SRL. Through Mists, Hellscape, self-released. Until Death Overtakes Me, Diagenesis. Until I Wake, Renovate. Valdadur, Duskal Fricta on Soul Seller Records. Also, various artists. Magnetic Eye Records' awesome Redux series continues with their Jethro Tull covers album, which will include the new song from The Sword. Yeah, Daniel Evans, not a big religious person here, so I appreciate you, and if that works for you, cool, but not necessary to be here. But okay. On the other hand, No Face, new here, liked and sub. Thank you, pal. Thank you so much. So again, Magnetic Eye Records, Aqualung Redux. Phosphorus just ran that review on the site also. Cosmic Cenotaph on Inner Hell Records. And Willhaven, No Stars to Guide Me, 30 Years of Willhaven on Minus Head Records. That's all most of the records coming out this week. There might be a few that slip past us. If you have a band, if you're watching this and you have a band and you want to get on that list, DM us or email us at submissions@ghostcultmag.com and mention the New Musical Friday list and you want to get on it. A lot of people send me a DM or a message. Hey, can you check out my band? The record came out a year ago. Or, hey, can you check out my band? It came out today. Get ahead of me months in advance, and I will help you if I can. I will help you if I can. And that leaves the mailbag. The mailbag. That leaves the mailbag. And we got a special thing this week. Children of the Night is the new album from Torchlight Parade. My good friend Danny Nichols, who I met when I visited St. Louis to see Nick Cameron from the Glacial Musical Podcast, sent me a copy of his new album. Let's take a quick look and unbox it. I did not get my second camera ready, but let me just raw dog this motherfucker. You don't need that. Beautiful Digipack CD. I don't believe it's on digital streaming since Halloween. He sent me this beautiful Digipack. Torchlight Parade is an awesome heavy metal band from St. Louis. It's got some lyrics in the booklet. Let's check that out. Nice. Got a little back glue action for the lyric book and thank yous and song titles. Check out the front cover. Very cool. Check out the cover there. It's like Dracula, the Wolfman, and Torchlight Parade, the name. And the back cover has a very pissed looking, I think, a Frankenstein and a Jason and some other creature, maybe the rest of that werewolf body. This is super cool. I love this band. Danny's a good friend. He's good people. I like when good. We'll probably get him on eventually, either on another Glacially Musical podcast or as an interview guest here at Ghost Cult. But we'll get a review of this coming soon. Beautiful artwork, lovingly made. Support this band. I do believe they're on all the streaming platforms. Check it out. And that is our show in a very reasonable hour and 24 minutes. Again, and we're going to do winter-themed title cards for the rest of the year. And then we'll start with new stuff next year. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Again, you could spend your time anywhere else, but you chose to be here with me, which I appreciate. And, that's what's up. That's what's up. And as we say every week at this juncture of the show, it's a tough time in the world. So please take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and stay as metal as humanly possible. And as usual, we're going to dance a jig on the way out. Peace, everybody.